And I want you to hear me.
Recording in progress. Uh-oh. Guess he didn't like that. Man's need a cleanup still. All right, let's see what we could do with this mic. Back you up a little bit, boy. All right.
All right, let's try that again. So, and you can hear it.
I can hear you.
You can hear the candle, right?
I hear the clicky click of the candle.
Did you? Oh, okay, so I got my new candle. All right. Candles lit, which y'all usually get to see, but this is going to be more fun. I'm going to flip my screen in a second here. All right, everybody know I didn't go nowhere. All right, so here we go. You ready?
All right. Let's see what we got going on.
Right.
Oh. Yes, sir. Okay.
Such is life. Yeah.
All right.
That's fine. So it goes, right? I hear you, man.
Wicked.
I'm all color coordinated and shit.
Oh, that
my
was
red
dope.
shirt.
That
my
was
red cup,
dope.
my red shirt. Like, we don't practice this stuff, you know. I think people might think we practice some of this stuff.
This was good. You know what, bro? The frequency that me and you move on is ridiculous. Like, it's pretty ridiculous.
It is funny.
I think I'm gonna have to ask for my swag back, bro, because you just
no, but I mean, it's what's the word? What's this word? Synergy? Is that the right word?
Synergy, like a mob.
Like flash that up somewhere, right? But I mean, this is kind of stuff from time, I guess, too, right? If you really think about it, like, I don't know, we know each other. How old are we, man? I don't even know how old I am sometimes, but pretty long time.
Yes, sir.
Like 30 years, I guess.
Yes,
now,
sir.
right?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. It seemed all good all throughout all that, I guess.
That
right?
was that's impressive. This is impressive right here. That's pretty slick.
I don't know. And you know, it's funny, I was talking to somebody today, they're like, "You doing your show, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I watched the show." And I'm like, "All right." He's like, "So what are you guys going to talk about?" I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "What do you mean you don't know what you're going to talk about?" I'm like, we just go. He's like, how do you guys do that?" I go, "I don't know, man. We just go."
Right.
He's like, "You don't write anything down?" I go, "Well, you know, the other guy writes some stuff down. He likes to write some. He's got a fake piece of paper that he has all the time. that he takes a look. You know, like he's got. But you know, I try, but I just.
When you see me go like this, I go.
That's the big board. I don't know. You got a small. There's a big board over there, but I think there's something going on down here too. I can see that. I don't even front because I can barely see some of this stuff as well, right? So
that's because you don't use paper. You just said you don't use paper anymore.
I know, but
you need a tablet.
No, I slowly increase the fonts. Right? You ever going like I'm into my accessibility settings and stuff like that now, you know. Right? You ever some people don't use those settings, right?
Oh, man.
I'm up in that. There's some good stuff in there, man.
I know there is, because I was on the bus one time and I heard a man actually like having his phone dictate to him his text, and I was like, I need that part of my phone.
It's right there though.
I need it. I didn't know where to find it, and I knew it was in accessibility somewhere, but I guess I just didn't know how to navigate to get to the exact thing that I need. Because I'd rather listen to my text than me read it.
Right.
I'm the kind of guy, once I start reading, I start to get sleepy.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough to get. I like a good audiobook sometimes. I vary. Sometimes like when I get into reading mode, which is not consistent or anything like that. I'm like, I wouldn't consider myself a reader. I read my fair share of books, but I'm not a reader. But sometimes I'll go audiobook and I'll switch it up, like a digital, like on my phone, I'll watch one or read one. And then sometimes you just want the paper too. It depends on the book, I think. I don't know how it works.
What has been your favorite book that you've read?
Oh, there's a couple, man. Like I think the very first, I won't say the very first, but the most impactful original book that I'll always remember is The Corporation.
The
It's called
Corporation.
The
There's a movie like that,
Corporation.
right?
Yeah, those guys. I forget the
Okay.
author's name right now. It's actually.
Clancy? That sounds like a Clancy.
See, I don't know about that. Just
What's his name? Tom Clancy?
red. It's red too, as you can see. Like The Corporation, The Pathological Pursuit of Profit and Power by Joel Bacon.
That's what
Bacon.
yeah, close. I was close. Clancy.
That was pretty close,
Bacon.
right? No, this it was like my first like real job, I guess. And I remember my boss gave me, she's like, here's a Chapters gift card, go buy something and go make it matter. And I was like, you know, I was pretty young at that
Go
time.
buy something and go make it matter.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's what she said to me. And that was one of my like first good bosses, like really, there's a couple bosses that just make you look at life a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, that's what she told me. She was like, go, and I bought that. I don't remember if she recommended it because it was like my first businessy type job or whatever, but
is that the one where you're getting paid cash?
no.
Yeah, I didn't
No,
think
this was when I
so.
was getting paid proper. This was after. This is as I started growing up a little bit, a little bit more. So yeah, that corporated just it made you look at the world a little bit differently, but it also keeps it real a little bit, right? So
You
that was
know
like,
what? Tell me the title of that book again.
this one right here, The Corporation.
And
Yeah.
what did it say underneath it?
The Pathological Pursuit of Profit and Power.
You know what that reminds me of right now? As you say that,
it
reminds me of the nonsense that's happening in Afghanistan right now.
Oh, yo, man, that shit crazy, bro.
That's what that reminds me of, because like this morning, I got out the shower and I was pondering different things as I was getting ready for work, and this little situations and da 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 da, and I just just got back to the I just all channeled it back to the one idea of follow the money, follow the money, and you'll find out why. Follow the money, you find out why, right? And this is just in regards to some of the things I was thinking about. Then I get to work today, and the conversation now is all about what's happening in Afghanistan,
right?
And the troops pulling out and whatnot. And then then the conversation, then you just like, but why were they there in the first place?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you find out why they're there in the first place, and the reason why they're there in the first place, they could have finished all that from time, like 2 weeks after they got there, right? They served their purpose, right? But then, what's that book say? The Pursuit of Profit and Power.
Yes.
Right. There's profit in them staying there, right? Because now all the defense contractors, the defense contractors, like they generate a whole bunch of money, and you know what I mean? And then the money that they get, then they can pay senators and support senators for their campaigns and just
big cycle.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all about the money, man. So like, really, I don't believe that there is any intent to kind of make Afghanistan a better place than it was. Maybe ideally that's what you go in there. You know what I'm saying? But I don't believe they cared that much.
No, you can tell pretty much.
It's just they just want to keep the money going. They just want to keep the money coming in. You know what I mean? And now they're pulling out, and it's causing a whole bunch of disarray. Like, I didn't even know that word's too light.
Yeah. I thought havoc, and I don't even know that. That's not even a good word either, yo.
But and then to me, like, they're acting like they don't know that this is what's gonna happen. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. I thought that the soldiers that we trained would be able to sustain and handle the 75,000 Taliban, the 300,000 soldiers that we trained. The U.S. left the 300,000 soldiers. Like, not my fight. Not my. Oh, hey, here's all these weapons.
No, it's crazy, man. And I'm not even going to pretend to know a lot about the backstory, but it's, it's funny. Like I have this guy on Instagram and he posted the photos of the guys in the Taliban when they took over whatever the capital or whatever, the government building, the main government, and he put that side by side with the capital, the American thing.
Oh, right.
Right, the guy's sitting there taking pictures, stuff like that, and I was like, and this guy, a little bit of a conspiracy guy. Well, this one was like, oh shoot, man, look at that. I go, that's interesting how it's looked at so differently a little bit, right? Um, but yeah, some crazy stuff, man. I can't even imagine. It makes you like, it's very sad, but it also makes you like you got to appreciate kind of certain things as well, right? Like just think of what some of those people are like, the civilian, like the regular old civilian Afghani. That's crazy what's happening right there, man. I never seen some stuff that I saw over the weekend, I think, or last few days that's what kind of, that's tough. So I don't know. That
No,
is a crazy situation.
It is crazy. And I mean, I seen some clips with people like desperately like hanging on for their lives onto moving jumbo jet
In the air.
in the air. Like it's like, give me freedom or give me death. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or at least like get me out of this Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Or get me out of this Taliban Afghanistan, this new Taliban Afghanistan.
Whatever's going on here, I gotta go.
I don't even want to be part of whatever is possible to happen right now. Like get me out of here. I'm hanging on to the wheel of this plane that is taking off.
Yeah.
Wild, bro. Wild. Wild.
But that's the world, man. Like the world is just, I don't know. It's almost like the world's exposed, kind of based on the way that like. It's just everything's different. Everything's just. I mean, you see it all too now. Like maybe some of this kind of craziness has been happening,
absolutely,
like all the time, but just the access we have to it,
right?
How quickly we have access to it, because
yeah.
a lot of it's unfiltered now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the big change.
But that's kind of important change too. Important change because like we have, like you just said, unfiltered. That's a very important word, unfiltered information. You know what I mean? Because the information that we usually get is filtered for our consumption to steer us in a direction of belief that the media or whosoever is giving it to us wants us to have it. Like they want us to digest it the way they want us to digest it. You know what I mean? But now when you get it unfiltered, you can kind of, like discern for yourself what really makes sense or what really is going on,
But you got to be a certain kind of person to be able to do that, because the unfiltered also lets the crazies out too, right? I mean, it very well goes both ways. Where
I have experience with that. Bro.
Somebody just takes something and runs with it, right?
I've introduced somebody to some information and they took it and they ran with it, and
right,
really detrimental.
You just never know.
It's just some people can't handle too much. Because some people are super passionate, right? Yeah. Some people are super passionate about rights and wrongs. You know what I mean? And if you give them information about certain things and they get passionate about it, you know what I mean? Like it's not so much that they're crazy, but they're just so passionate about what's right and what's wrong. You know what I mean? And and somebody that just toes the line might like, oh, what's the big deal? Like, why are you going so wild over this? What? Some things we need to go wild over. Just like, for instance, this mandatory vaccination for people to go into work now. Yeah, like to go to work and to go to schools, and like making these things mandatory. That's like people are going wild for that. You know what I mean? And rightfully so, because now, like if they make these things law, it sets precedence for what other kind of thing. Yes, it sets precedence for something else in the future that may not be something that everybody agrees with now, but we set the precedence. You know what I mean?
But I mean, this is something you and I talked about too, right? When we had our original vaccine conversation, right? Remember I said to you, man, sooner or later, this is the way that it's going to be. And you know what? I'm in terms of, this is how the world is going to be. And part of me is just like, all right, let's giddy up. Like I'm grown. I made my decisions based on a number of different factors or whatever. But one of them, as I said to you, was, yo, man, look, this is coming. Right. And not to be a proponent or not, but just to say, yeah, this was the world a year ago that was coming. With these types of things. And if it wasn't, then gosh darn it, we should have never went through half of the stuff that we went through in the first place if this wasn't what it was leading to. Right. Again, not right, not wrong, but somewhat expected, I guess. Right. Like what would have been the point of getting everybody, if that was your plan to get everybody vaccinated, what would the point then of not letting people have to show vaccination to get into certain places? Right. Again, not right or wrong, but yeah, when I saw today MLSC, right, is going to require, you got to go, you want to go to the Raptors game, you want to go to the Leafs game, right? It is, you got to show proof of vaccination or a negative test.
And now, that to me is retarded.
It's crazy.
I'll tell you why it's retarded. Because they say you need to show proof of vaccination or a negative test, right? Now, it's understood that the conversation is that if you are vaccinated, you still can contract COVID and pass it.
Yes.
So if you show proof of vaccination, that means you no longer need to show a negative test, which means that you could still have COVID.
Yes.
And be amongst the people.
Yes.
So that's why I say it makes no sense in that regard. You know what I mean? Like everybody should, if this is the case, everybody should need to show a negative test, because if you have a vaccination, you could still be positive.
Yes. I mean, I hear that. I mean, I know what somebody on the other side would tell you on that, right?
What would they say?
But I mean, they would say then, I think that because you're vaccinated, the impact to you is minimal, although you could pass it around, which is why then they wouldn't want the non-vaccinated to have that in them at the time. Some shit like that. And again, not to make it right or wrong, I'm just telling you what the other side would say. I'm somewhere in here. I can agree with both sides of y'all on some things, and I don't agree with both sides of y'all on the other things. Like I'm neither anti or pro. I'm Sean, right?
You just living your life.
My life on how, and like I said, some of these things are like, for me again, right? All right. So how do I show this when I go to the game? How do I just walk in the door? What's the quickest way? Beep, beep. All right, cool. Can I get it on my watch? All right. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's personally me. There's, like I said, many things to it. We've talked through, I know we're oversimplifying right now. But this is what was coming. Right? I think we can either like it or not like it, agree with it or disagree with it. All I know is this is what was coming.
Yeah,
that's tough. You can be on either side of that.
And the thing is, the people were acting like the people in power were acting as if, oh no, this is not coming.
Right?
No, it's not. No, this is not a good idea. No, we wouldn't be doing that. No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't make it mandatory. We wouldn't have a vaccine passport. Come on, don't be crazy. 2 months later.
Now listen, we all had vaccine passports. All right, we all had those little brown little foldy things.
I never had
that. Come on, yeah. I bet you probably like in your baby like album, if you find it in the basement.
I never had one.
You had one of those polio, like the little things.
I see everybody. I see everybody in the gym, and I'm like, I stand at the door like this.
Stop it, yo! How come you're not drinking yet, bro?
We're about to drink now. We got lots of time.
Oh well, I'm just like because this is usually part of the intro.
I know.
And you still got the thing, man.
I know. I still got my little.
Okay, let's see if you learned any lessons. Thing. Let's see. This should be pretty quick.
But where we are on episode 6 of Pizza in the Break Room.
In the Break Room, brought to you by Couture Life.
Oh, geez.
Right? Life.
Hey, man. Episode 6 is a big deal.
Is it? You're gonna tell me? Is there a special reason? You're gonna tell me
No,
why?
because
Why? All
episode
right.
5 is also a big deal.
Yeah.
Because episode 4 is also a big deal.
All right.
Just think
Does that
about
make
this. There's a lot of people who start shit
that
that
and
don't
don't?
continue shit.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? Like what we do right now doesn't take nothing.
Yes.
Because look, I mean, when I say it doesn't take nothing, it took us even how long to even get started, to even
Right.
you know what I mean? So it took something
Start
because
something. Yeah.
it took like when we conceived the idea of what we're doing now, it was probably like 12 weeks ago.
Probably longer than that.
Probably longer than that, right?
Probably longer.
So just
than
to
that.
show you, like it takes something to make just something as simple as what this seems to be happen. You know what I mean? It takes something, and a lot of people start shit, but
don't do nothing with it. And it's funny.
And don't continue. Like like they'll do like a episode, like they'll do put it in podcast terms or something like that. They'll do a 1 episode and 2 episodes, like yeah, and then third week, my buddies are going to the club. I'm just gonna go to the club with them, and
yeah, can't make it.
Can't make it.
Can't make it.
Could we do it later? You know what I mean? Like start finding reasons to start screwing their intention up,
And that's I mean, accountability is part of it, right? And even because sometimes, like even today I was like, like I felt frazzled like about an hour ago, to be honest, right? I was a little like,
how do you mean?
in just in terms of, well, because you talk about just starting something and how simple it is, and then over the last week or so, you see more people interacting a little bit, right? You see even there's a couple more comments about stuff, but you never really know what it's like. You never really know what's going to hit somebody.
Yeah,
you need to practice that shit,
Hey man, sorry.
This is worse than when I get up in the middle of one of your stories. Like I'm sitting here, you shake this thing all up. Oh, you broke it. You just gotta push it in right now, or you can still do it again. Maybe you can do it again. I don't remember what I was talking about now.
No, anyways, go ahead. Yeah, you don't know how it impacts people, and yeah,
you don't know. Yeah, you don't know what's gonna hit somebody, because some people are laughing at the funny stuff. Which, first of all, like there's some things that I didn't think were funny when I was listening to them, maybe at first, right? For example, and then all of a sudden I see a video and I'm like, oh man, that is the funniest stuff in the world, and I'm giggling all day. And then there's some that some people take and flip it into something that's like, wow, like really, you listen to something that I said or we said, and you're posting about it, and you're it's like a portion of something that you're talking, like you're taking the time to recognize something that we said. Serious, like really,
it's weird, right?
Yeah. So
I don't mean weird bad either. I mean like weird, like wow, that's like so different than something that you're used to.
What? Yeah.
Right.
It's like man, like number one, it's like for real, like because me, like I'm just like, oh, we're just here talking, right? I don't, is it? It's not that I don't have a message, maybe I have a couple of messages, but I'm not out here just like, I'm going to talk about this, or this is what I'm trying to tell people. I'm just trying to talk about, me, kind of how I see some things on some different subjects. So for somebody to take something that, just is maybe a mindset for me, or a thought process for me, or, something like that, and actually implemented it into some shit that they're doing, or talk about it, or get when I get a little DM, hey, that was good, or never thought about something like that. I'm like, thought about what are you talking about? And I got to go back and I got to like, oh, all right, cool, and then just be kind of appreciative of it. So yeah, now, today, I don't know, I think I'm fine now. We'll see if I'm like twitching all over the place and stuff like that. But it was even, you know, now is there more responsibility, I guess? You know, have I changed my thought process on responsibility about what I say about what I'm doing? You know, and you know, my answer is always the same, like, you know, fuck that. No, you know, I'm gonna we're gonna keep on doing. The point is we're doing what we're doing. So I can't get caught up in it either way, whether somebody says, "No, what the fuck are you guys doing?"
Right.
or "Yo, that was dope,"
Right.
right? We just continue to do what we do. And you know, when we were talking earlier about like synergy and shit and just how everything works, it's just funny because we're actually just doing what we do, right? There's no fluff to it. When stuff happens, or like when we pop out a video with a nice caption, you know, you're doing what you do, I do what I do, and then it comes out all nice from a synergy perspective. And you know, so you know, you can not to we don't have to break shit down to everybody, but the point is like it's funny that there's not, maybe it looks like there's a shit ton of collaboration. If you know what I mean? Like it looks like it probably, but really there's not. Right. So just going back to how you and I interact, like anything when we play ball, whatever it is that we've done, like even when I was like, yo, can I get my hair cut like that, yo? And then I'd look at my hair at the end and be like, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Right. And you know, there's a point where I stop, right? I don't even look when you're like, how's your hair? I'm like, okay, I'm done. Cool. Am I clean? Thanks. Don't hurt me too much with the alcohol. Don't hurt me too much with the alcohol, please. Like, you know, so that stuff. So it's actually, it's funny. Like I said, people would think we sit here and just like dive into stuff, but it's really like, here's this or here's that. Cool, done, wicked. But what you pouring over there, bro?
I am pouring a, what do you call it? Cabernet Sauvignon.
Cab Sauv.
Cabernet Sauvignon. So, oh yeah. So what I had 2 weeks ago, I had the J Lure, and that was a Cab Sauv. Right. So this one here is a California cab. Company called Bread and Butter.
Big up.
Yeah, and I think I liked it because the label was just
grabbed you, right?
The label just grabbed me. So first of all, a buddy of mine works at the LCBO, and he's like, "Oh, you're doing a podcast, right? So you come to get a wine." And I said, "Yeah, you damn right."
See what I mean? Yeah.
I said, "You damn right. You know." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "What are you thinking about today? What you plan on getting?" I said, "I don't even know. I'm just whatever, right?" So I go, "What do you recommend?" And he goes, "Do a red, man. Do a cab." I'm like, "All right, well, I'll follow you." Right? I know that I like reds, right? So then he showed me this bottle.
And that was it.
Right? Bread and butter. And I just liked it because of the label, first off, because it just was simple. You know, this easiness.
Yeah.
How do I beat this light so you can see it? Can you see it?
I can see it now. It's good. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Maybe tap it. Tap in. I don't know.
Is that what you do? Is that a trick?
Maybe. I don't know what you're working with over there. I don't know what kind of phone you got.
And anyways, so I like this. So I like the label. And he goes, "Or you can try this." And I go, no. Whatever else you're gonna show me,
this is it.
I'm just gonna go with this, you know, like black and white label. And then I did a little bit of research on them, and their motto is keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Right.
You know, I find in my older self is those are the things that matter. Right. Like maybe that wine tastes good. Maybe you drink it again. Right. You gotta do your spin
on the ground. Yes.
No, you do that. You had a little good.
I had a little flow going.
Yeah. Okay, you should have kept that rhythm going, yo.
Okay.
All right. Just don't spit it back in the cup, yo. Yeah, man, those are the things that matter nowadays. There's a little itty bitty, like that could taste good, that could not taste good. Shit, wine connoisseur fits might not even know the difference. But right, those are the little itty bitty things that just, yo, I like this label, yo, I like this color, yo, I like this cent, those little, everybody's stuck in their ways on a lot of things, right? Like ain't nobody changing what's in my cup. But when I go and try some things, there's little things that just catch your eye or make something a good experience, right? Or make you want to experience something kind of shit, right? So that's weird.
I think I probably messed up their tagline. I think what their tagline was it don't overcomplicate it. What is it? Let me see. I want to check for sure.
Not keep it simple, son.
It is something to do with not keep it simple. Let me see. I'll tell you.
I think there's a setup coming here.
No setup. Is it? No. It's not keep it simple. It is don't overthink it. That's what it is.
That's what I told myself when we started. I was like, you know what? Screw it. There we go.
Don't overthink. And the funny thing is when I read that about that's their mission statement is don't overthink it. I thought about us, and I thought about I think maybe even the last thing that we even like discussed, like a quick little message that we had. It's all good, man. Don't over. It's like the premise. Don't overthink it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But this is what's happening to me right now, right? Because even that, like, I don't know how often do I really check in before I do such a thing from that perspective, right?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, is it good? Is it all right? How's it? It's like, but then, and then at some point, you respond. You're like, just go. I'm like, all right, shit. You know what? Damn it, I will just go with it. Right? But that's it's funny. It's just funny how that works, right? But you have to. I think now I'm better at regrounding myself, right? In certain situations, because certain situations might have wiped me out in the past, right? Might have made me just like, oh, you know what? Sent you the message and be like, yo, man, I have a headache or something, can't make it tonight. But to be able to just, take that second and just whoosah, right? And be like, what's really, all that stuff is external pressure, right? And all that, there's nothing like, I don't want to say you or people, I've come to find that it's all external pressure. What really matters is what kind of, how you react to whatever it is that's happening around you, right? But you can't really blame the other stuff. Like if I do good shit, if I do bad shit, I gotta own it both ways.
Well, that's it right there.
And then it's just, or at least own a failure, right? Like if you go into something, like somebody taught me that a long time ago, and ironically in business when we were talking about the corporation, he was like, I don't care if you miss the day or whatever it was, whatever that target was. He's like, but you need to be able to tell me what your plan was going into it. Maybe you failed, but if you go into it and your plan's sound going into it, and we talk about your plan before, and everybody's like, cool, that's a good plan. And then we go, and it doesn't work out, then so be it. It didn't work out, right? But you thought through it. You can say, this is what I did, this is why I did it, right? And this was the result. Cool, done, period, move on. Because everything doesn't work out, right? I think I told you a couple of weeks ago, I'm like 97%, right? 97% right on everything. So sometimes that other 3%, right? I'm like, okay, shit. And some days it's bigger. Over time, it evens out to like 3%. Like, so, some years it was pretty bad. Some situations got, all my bad and stuff like that. But yeah, man, you got to learn from everything, and then just you got to own it, learn from it, and then like, what happened? Like, do a little post-mortem on shit, right? And then also kind of be honest with yourself. That's the other fuck, man. Some people ain't fucking true to themselves, brother.
But I mean, that's the toughest person to be truthful with. It is yourself.
Yeah, but you're only letting down yourself, though.
Because you can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to yourself. but people try their best to lie to themselves.
Right. Right. I think that's the fucking kicker. Right. Because
Like me, I mean, I don't think I lie to myself. I think I'm just out there. I feel like I'm transparent. I feel like I'm authentically who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe externally somebody will look and say, nah, that's not. Maybe somebody will have something else different to say. But I feel like I am so okay with who I am that I'm not afraid of anybody seeing me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't try to pretend to be something different than who I am. Like I feel like I'm pretty quirky, pretty weird, and I accept it and I live it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm okay with that. So I don't feel like I need to lie to myself.
Yeah.
About who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of me is I had to learn. Maybe I was always who I was. That was never the problem, but I think maybe there were times in my life where it mattered what other people thought a little bit. And I think for me, growing up, or even over the last few years, just kind of looking back, pandemic forced us to look back a little bit. Yeah, I think that was the big piece. And it's kind of, we're talking about kind of that progression and that little piece that I wrote. Back in the day, it was just a lot of it's just people might have seen it as bravado. Ain't nothing much changed now. But the way that you maybe portray it or look at it, it's slightly different. And what matters is a lot less matters, I think, right? A lot less matters than it did when we were younger or years ago or whatever it was. It seemed like there was so much that mattered back in the day. And now we realize how simple it is to, at the end of the day, to say that was a good day when it's just basic shit, right? Like basic shit. Like, what did you do today? I don't know. Sat down and had dinner with the kids or whatever, or, went for a walk, right? Kind of shit like that. Like that stuff couldn't satisfy me 20 years ago, right? Now going for a walk, or, sunset or a fire, you know, some of the fun and crazy stuff too, like partying or whatever, right? But it's different what kind of motivates you now than might have motivated you before, what you might see as important. I think the important, it's a lot's changed and what's important as I've grown a little bit older, I guess, older, wiser, whatever.
So what is it that you think has caused the things to change? Is it your growth? Is it your release of irrelevant things? Is it your energy level? Is it your physical capabilities? What do you think has made things change for you?
I mean,
Is
first,
family?
I think it's all relevant. Like every experience is relevant, regardless. I think really it's just I challenged myself more than anything in terms of, we might have spoken about this a little bit, but in terms of why, why do I like this? Why do I do this? Do I like this? Do I like things that I've done for 30 years, things that I've done for whatever in certain parts of my life, why do I do these things? Why do I like it? And that made me at least understand myself a little bit better, right? Like I said, I started worrying about less things, worrying more about what matters to me. It doesn't matter, great. You could be standing right beside me and we could go on the same, like have the same day, go out, this, that. And you could have the best day, right? And I could be like, this bothered me and this bothered me and this bothered me. So, the fact that you had a good day, I'm happy for you that you had a good day. But to me, that's not what really mattered. Part of that mattered that my friend had a good day, but it also can't matter that you had a good day or bad day. you know what I mean? To influence how I feel about my day as well. Because if you had a bad day, then what should have mattered to me is that I was there for you or reached out to you or, you know, was empathetic to your situation. The fact that you had a bad day can't necessarily push me up or down. You know what I mean? Kind of, sort of, I think. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of, I think you have to make you matter, but also it can't be in this selfish way either, right? Like, fuck the world, kind of. It's me, right?
No, well, there's a freedom that some people have, that they're able to enjoy the world. They're able to enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're able to they're able to just be in the moment and disregard anything else that's happening. And sometimes, like, I mean, some people might look at that as like very irresponsible. But again, I look at that as a gift. I look at that as people who can live like that as gifted and talented. It's a gift that they're just able to just take what's happening in the environment and just absorb it all and just be one with it.
Mm-hmm.
This is me.
Well, yo, and the other day I was out and I was picnic kind of shit. We were just out eating food, barbecue, people around, and I was lying down and I was just looking up. And I was under a tree and I was just looking up and I was just like, just almost not even thinking anything, kind of, you know. It was just right. It was just like I'm sitting there and it was just like you could feel the wind, you could see the leaves moving, it was just one of those things. And that's I don't know. I guess it's fair to say maybe that's not necessarily me in the past, being able to absorb such a situation. Maybe I needed to be moving, or maybe it was too naturey, right? Like I barely even like nature too much, too tough. I'm a city boy, right? But just to be lying down there looking up, and the part that I remember about that day was that.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck am I? You know, like, you know what I mean? Like,
because that's probably something you it's probably like a position, a sight, like that you don't usually experience. Like everything else of that day is something that you're regular, like it's familiar with you. So it blends in with all those other experiences. But you sitting back looking up is like, that's a position that you're not usually in. So now it sticks out because it's like, I don't do this. Like, you know, like I don't usually see this.
Yeah. But you can't miss the big part is some people miss that moment too.
Right.
Right. Some people are too quick into that, you know, or not even they miss it. It's just, yeah, they do miss it because, you know, I had stopped in that moment and just absorbed it. And like I said, maybe it was the fact that I've slowed myself down a little bit. Maybe it was the fact that, you know, I am trying to live in the moment a little bit, right? Like it is about just each little situation and taking the best out of it.
You have reached level 2, young grasshopper.
Right? Giddy up. Where's my fucking trophy, bro? Like shit, like hit me the fuck up, man. I got a badge or something, a little bit, right? Another shirt, completed. maybe, and then I get another shirt.
You have to get a yellow gi.
Wrap it around my head, you know. Oh, I need a refill. Commercial.
All right, man. This episode of Pizza in the Break Room brought to you by Bread and Butter, along with Heineken. Don't overthink it. It's a Red Star thing, fam.
There's no quality, fam.
So you were across the street on what was it, Sunday?
Sunday?
You were across the
Saturday?
street?
What day was that?
Saturday? What was it?
Saturday, Sunday. I don't remember which day it was specifically. I think it was Saturday.
No,
I'm pretty sure I was. Right. Saturday night.
Saturday.
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
I'm pretty.
You're
I'm
right.
pretty
You're
sure
right.
I
You're
was.
right.
I'm pretty sure I was KO'd on Sunday. I didn't do much on Sunday.
You're right. You're right. You're right. So okay, so
Yeah.
you're across the street.
Yeah, and you couldn't call nobody back, brother. You're too busy for me, man.
Man, here's a joke. Did I tell you already? I drove through the parking lot. I got back late in the night, and I drove around the parking lot because I said that I'm a P man told me that he's gonna be over there. So when I was heading home, I'm like, oh, let me go in the parking lot and see if the festivities are still happening, if the wedding is still happening. So I drive through the parking lot and I see, oh yeah, like I saw a couple people outside, and I believe maybe smoking, drinking, whatever they're doing.
Nah, people don't. People smoke.
Don't people smoke?
Not in Markham.
Well, then I don't know what they were doing. Maybe they're just talking.
Yeah.
Talking. Yeah. So and I was thinking, I don't know if you were there because I didn't know if that's a B-Town thing or if that's a St. Sylvester thing. Right. So I wasn't too sure. Right. But I knew that P-Man was going to be there. So I just drove through, and then the next day I seen the message that you were there, and I'm like, oh man. But I probably came home and just knocked out anyways. But I mean, if I seen the message, then I would have extended my night for sure.
We'll crash at your place and we go live in the morning. Right? That
was my plan. Man, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You should have called, man. Don't message me, man. Call me, man. Okay, message. You want to get in touch with me? Call me. Don't message me. All right?
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't urgent.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them.
Those guys. You're not supposed to do that. Yo, that's one of the rules that I heard of.
Fourth wall. No, we're going through the fourth wall.
We do that now? We do whatever the fuck we want. That's why.
We're going through the fourth wall.
All right.
You want to get in touch with me? You call me. You don't text me. You text me. You're leaving yourself open for disappointment. I'm just telling you that from now. All right. Message over.
It's funny. I was thinking the other day, I don't know how this correlates too much, but just thinking about calling and staying in touch with people. I was thinking how old we are. No, but this is good. I think this is a good old, because I heard, I don't know how this all works. There's like Gen X. There's
Gen Z.
Gen Z, the fucking millennials, right? The boomers, fucking boomers. So there's fucking boomers and the fucking millennials, right? And then everything in between. But I heard they made up a one that's kind of like in between, right? It's like mid 70s to like the very early 80s.
Isn't that Gen X?
No.
Why? Is that not why?
It's like they made
like a little thing,
like a small group of people that kind of, I think maybe it was like 75 to like 83, maybe 75 to 82, like a tiny subset of folk that grew up at a certain time. Because, and if you think about it, because I mean, I know you're a little bit older than I am, but we grew up before the internet.
Yeah.
Right? Before cell phones.
Yep.
Like we used to have, like when we went outside to see our friends, right?
Yeah.
We went outside to see our friends based on like faith that your friends were going to be at the spot outside, right? You were going to look for the spot with the bicycles, right? Like we came from you got to remember, right? Because some people just need to be reset a little bit. Like, remember, if somebody wanted to call you back in the day and your mama was on the phone, right? That phone was just ma, ma, ma. It was busy signal.
Yes.
Right? Kids these days don't know what the hell a busy signal is,
Busy signal.
Right? I remember years ago now, but I had to explain to the boy what call waiting, like where call waiting, like kind of, you know, like now you see the second call, it pops up on your phone and you press the button, click, right? Three-way calling, when all this stuff was like original, but before, like, right before, like, I think we've seen every video game.
Say again.
Right?
Say again.
We've seen every video game in the world. I mean, not physically seen it, but from the time video games actually started, like, right,
Yes,
like
yes, yes,
proper,
yes,
like
yes, yes.
PlayStation 1,
Forget PlayStation 1,
right?
like tennis. Tennis on
ColecoVision,
I had a Commodore VIC-20.
Atari 2600, all that stuff. Vectrex. People don't know about Vectrex, yo. Yo.
Vectrix.
VECTRE fucking X. I had a
Vectrix.
Vectrex, yo.
You had a Vex.
That's the one.
You had the
That's the
box.
one
You had
with
the
the
box.
little box with the little, yo, bro.
You had that box.
Vectrex, yo. Kids don't know about, because remember back in the, yo, we're like, yo, look at these graphics, yo. Stick man
But they were
coming
good.
through.
They were doing something.
Yo, what else? Remember we used to try to juke like AOL, the AOL disk for free internet for the month. Remember that?
Yeah.
And, right? Like, I used to live in a building, so people would try to, if you know, they'd throw away the stuff that they didn't want. So people would just dash the AOL little CD, and I'd had like free internet for like months.
Okay, so how about my email is still my AOL?
I almost want to ask you out loud what it is, because I kind of remember what it is. I just can't hit it in my head right now. But I remember you had an AOL, because me and you, I remember this was our, you know, we used to get that AOL, yo.
I have I have 3 AOL accounts, and 2 of them are still active. And my internet provider was AOL up until maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
No.
My internet provider was AOL up until 2 or 3 years ago, when AOL finally went out of business.
No, really?
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yes, sir. And I'll tell you why I kept AOL too. Because there was a time. Because
this guy had like thousands of discs in his basement.
No.
Yo.
Well, they were pretty affordable. They were good, and they gave me the amount of download or megabytes or whatever I needed to watch my Netflix and my YouTube. So
they didn't have Netflix with AOL, yo. But anyway, 3 years ago. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Man. I just finished AOL. I just finished AOL.
All right, man.
So, the thing why I actually kept it is because you know, when you stream TV shows on like say Global, or stream it on just whatever the channels are, right?
Yeah.
So at a time when you're streaming the TV channels, if you try and stream ABC, it's going to tell you you're not in the region. You can't watch none of the shows. You can only watch Global. You can only watch whatever's on the Canadian channels. But because I had AOL, I could watch all the American networks.
It's like VPN. Is that what they call it? It's like that's how people buy VPNs for, right? So they can watch different shit.
Exactly. So So my VPN was American. It was American IP address, and that was a big deal to me at the time, because we didn't have the Android box, or before the Android box was the Apple TV. So before
Apple, all Apple, everything, bro.
But did you have the bootleg Apple though?
I had it, you know. So it's funny. This is actually funny, because I was thinking, if I was going to write down anything, it might have been that I was all Apple everything. So again, I had my first Apple TV, and I jailbroke it, right? And then I was like, yo, fuck this shit. In terms of, because I am all Apple everything. So for the, you know, we can get into, not that I mean, a little bit, but just like small percentage, I felt bad, but everything didn't work anymore, right? So
what's up?
The joy of Apple to me, right, is that If I'm on my phone and I have my headset on, this is what I hear. And then if I switch over to my computer and start playing a video,
Yeah.
my headset changes to my computer without me touching anything. And when I want to share something to the kids, it's like share it.
Okay.
And it's all nice. And I know people will say they get that with whatever they get that with, but they really don't, because it's all Apple everything, right? If you have a certain type of phone and you have Android, whatever you guys call it, like, OS or whatever. I don't know what y'all people call that stuff. Like iOS is what Apple people call it, right? Great, but you have that on another phone, right? All Apple everything. That's what I am like. So when I talk to Siri, Siri knows what's up. Siri knows which device I'm talking to. I can switch from this to that without touching stuff. I love my Apple. So yes, I
You
had
call that
to.
a native environment? Is that what that's called?
I'm not sure. I don't know. It's people call it whatever that people call it many different things,
So
but I
right now you're on
truly
your phone.
right now I'm on my phone.
Would that be the phone that has your Instagram on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pourquoi? You want to try an experiment?
No. I was gonna tell you to jump on your live, join me on your live as well for a second.
Can I do that? I don't think I can do that.
No, we don't do it with this phone. Forget about it.
Forget about it. Forget about. Oh, you're
Forget
live right
about.
now. Oh, you're live right now. That's exciting. That's exciting.
So how was the wedding, man?
Wedding was good, man. It was nice. It was
Yeah.
so big up to Richie and Dominica.
Big up Richie and Dominica.
Dominica. I hope I pronounced it right. I feel bad if I didn't, but yes, big up to the Richies.
Big up to the Richies.
Wedding was nice. It was nice to be there. It was nice to get out. It was well set up. I think I forget the name of the place, but whatever the name of the place
Sorrento.
Was, they did a good job in terms of just everything. Like,
yeah, it was nice in there. I was trying to imagine how they would set it up.
Like running the wedding in general. Right?
Did the wedding happen in there? Or that was just
I didn't go to the ceremony. I went to the reception.
Okay.
So, and I don't believe that they were both at the same place.
Okay.
So they did that reception, but it was well set. I mean, all things considered as well, right? Like how you have to run events nowadays and stuff. It felt safe. It was good. And then in general, it was a good vibe. Obviously, we know Richie. So it was a nice little vibe, and yeah, I enjoyed myself. So it was good. It was good.
Nice. I saw you in your fit. I saw you in your outfit. I was like, okay, let's go a little GQ-ish tonight.
I get dressed up every now and then. It was nice to get out and dress up, to be honest with you. But
was that a new shoes and a new belt, or is that how you just have your wardrobe set up like that? That's just like
that old thing.
That old thing.
No, I don't got no. I ain't. Yeah, I don't get dressed up like that too often anymore. Especially, I work from home now, so whatever. It is what it is. But it was nice to get out, go to a wedding, put some wedding clothes on, wedding season, holla holla. All right, summertime in the 6.
There was a summer. Mans wasn't working the way he works now. You know what I'm saying? So the funds weren't coming in the way they come in now.
Yeah.
And I must have went to like 6 weddings this summer. And I was a part of like 4 of them. And I was so mad because this was the most expensive summer. Man, I had to buy suit. Man, I had to like gift card, like gift money in the cards. It was. I was like, yo, sub.
Like, nah, no. Don't you got more friends? You don't have another friend you can use.
And then the kicker, like the last wedding was like on Caravana Saturday. Mr. Obel, I'll never forgive you for that. I will never forgive you for that. on Caravana
Wow.
Saturday. Wild. Anyways, I'm like, who does that? But then, I'm like, who doesn't? Like, I mean, they're Filipino and Portuguese. So what do they care about Caravana? To them, it's a long weekend. I'm like, yo, it's Caravana weekend. What are you talking about?
I feel like I need to say something about Serge Ibaka right now, bro. Just to, like just to come over the top on you, because you're usually the good guy on that stuff,
man. No, but yeah, I remember that summer. That summer beat me the hell up, boy.
I can imagine. Yo, yeah, man. Because there's different etiquette for different types of things, right? And people look at certain things different ways. So hopefully there's a baseline, for
Was your wedding
people.
one of those? I wonder if your
Which
wedding was
one?
one of those in the summer that year.
Summer that same year?
I wonder if I wonder now. If
That
you're
was some time
if you're
ago. No, some time ago. You were that's a long time ago, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was a
That's
while
what
ago.
you're talking?
Yeah. Man wasn't working still. Man's wasn't working the way he was. Man was a entertainer. Man was a struggling artist.
I was working the room.
Man was a struggling artist at the time.
Should I hired you?
Yeah, saying I could have been a winner with the wedding singer.
For real. That's hilarious.
Sweet Caroline. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? I do a good wedding.
Yeah,
I'm
heck,
a good wedding singer.
no. I see you more doing the what is it? The boogie oogie oogie electric slide or whatever. You always get that going. I don't do that.
No,
I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if I could do it, to be honest with you. Like I know it's like 1, 2, but I just
no. Are
when
you
people
kidding
get
me?
up and
Are
start
you
to do the
kidding me?
slide, no, I know, but that's your thing.
You're irresponsible, man, if you can't do the electric slide. You just got to do the electric. That's the one dance that everybody should be able to do.
Well, like I said, I don't think it's a matter that I can do it.
Do it, yo. It's okay. I'll tell you like this. You see, I tell you, I'm in a party and I'm always just like this.
Yeah, until the electric slide. Yeah, that's
and then when the
your
electric
thing.
slide come on, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
I know.
No. That's my kryptonite. Electric slide. Doom, 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 doom.
Yo, we should do it like that.
Doom.
Yo, there's some time left in the summer, Just saying. Last time I did that, I think last time I saw that might have been on a boat that I was on.
Drift. The idea for drift was supposed to be the end of August, but I didn't think it was going to be a great idea for Couture to be involved in drift at the end of the summer, because usually it's the beginning of summer thing.
Yes. Well, I mean, maybe it's the beginning of fall.
I don't know if I want to be on a boat at the end of fall in the nighttime.
Your boat wasn't the nighttime.
I know, but just the way that things are going to work out because of how things are now, it was going to work out to end up being a nighttime boat.
Yo, I still haven't been on a boat.
No?
I'm a boat guy. I like a good boat, man.
I know you like your boats.
I like a good boat, but I still haven't been on a boat. I think I got a boat upcoming, but we'll see.
You have a favorite wedding you've been to?
A favorite wedding that I've been to? Oh, man. I've been to a couple of weddings. Oh, I think the favorite wedding, yes, I do have a favorite wedding that I went to. I think that
Were you part of it?
Yeah.
Was it yours?
That was a good wedding, man.
It was a nice wedding.
That was a good wedding.
It was a nice place, nice environment.
Good people, man. That was a good thing. But no, a good friend, my good friend. Because you know what? The wedding was over a weekend. It wasn't too far away or anything, but it was over a weekend. So it was like it was like a ways away. It was like up north. So So everybody was up there for the weekend, basically. You get there Friday, and then the wedding's on Saturday, and then everybody wakes up on Sunday, right?
Yeah, good times.
Yeah. So it was like there was like a little bit of everything there, a little bit of bonfire, a little bit of golf, a little bit of, like the guys went golfing, the girls went to the spa, but everybody was just there together. So it was good to just interact with everybody throughout
Mm-hmm.
that weekend, because that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
happen very much too often, like through the whole thing. Like you usually just interact with people
Mm-hmm.
that day, and then it's like, oh, great, wonderful, saw you at the ceremony, saw you at the reception, okay, cool, and then that's done. A little bit different than a destination wedding too. Like I've been on, I think, a couple of destination weddings, and yes, those are nice too. But I think
Where were they?
one was in Antigua.
Okay. Family or friend?
One, yes. Right. Well, I mean, good friend, right?
Okay.
Very good friend.
Yeah.
Especially now, like I was very early in a friendship as well. I think I might have barged my way into the wedding because it was a destination wedding. Um, you know, good thing I barged in, because we're still, like I said, yes, still family friend.
All right.
So Antigua, and Bahamas.
Never been to
Antigua.
Bahamas. Mm-hmm.
Yo, Bahamas is nice. I've been to Bahamas twice. Once was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Are you a richer man's, eh?
I don't know about that, man. Like it
You're a
hurt to go.
richer
It kind of hurt.
man's.
It kind of hurt to go, because I was gonna say Bahamas was expensive. Well,
Yeah.
like it was like a three. The what, like, so one was because of the wedding.
Yeah.
And I was in the wedding. Uh, Pretty sure I would have gone regardless, but it was expensive. So that was nice though. So I went for that was for the week. Had to, you're in. The other time was like, 3 day, 4 night type stuff,
Oh
but it
yeah.
was over New Year's too, so it was even better.
Oh
It was even more.
whoa, richer
Yeah.
man's.
No, you just sometimes you do what you do because you got to do it, because it's, sometimes it's not about that, I guess, right?
Yeah,
It was a
this
great
man's creating
experience. It was,
memories. Yo, okay, my richest friend. Yo.
brother, beg y'all 20. Beg
Oh,
you at 20.
beg me a 20 now.
Beg you at 20. No, no, some things you got to do. You know what I mean? Sometimes
That's not
not
that
even you got to
that's
do.
dope.
Not even that you got to do. Some things are just like, there's certain things that are worth the little bit of extra, maybe, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, right? Like,
That's
trust me,
dope.
man. Trust me, fuck that. I'm frugal, right? But every now and then, there are certain things that are very much like, this is how you do this sort of thing.
That's dope. That's dope. Like I tell you honestly, I've never. Okay, was that with your significant other?
Yes.
Okay, I've never had a relationship that went that long or went that deep
Mm.
that 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 I would consider, all right, time to do
Let's go
something.
do this.
Let's go do
Like this.
this.
Yeah.
And it sounds crazy for me to say that considering I have 3 children. No, but for real, I know it sounds crazy for me to say that, but this episode is brought to you by bread and
There it is.
butter in a
Keep it
bottle.
simple. Keep it simple, son. Right?
Don't overthink it.
What was it again? Anyways, yes.
Don't overthink it. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, like that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, like boom, you're in a relationship, you're doing whatever you're doing for so long, you're like, all right, we're gonna do something like
Yeah.
this. You know what I mean? And that's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. Like,
There's
I'm not saying that I
something
haven't been on vacations with anybody,
other people.
but the way that sound, the way that's okay. So the way that sound, the way you put it just now, sounds like you're in a relationship and you're like, we're gonna do something. Like, we're gonna switch it up and add a little spice to what we got going on right now. Right. Whereas me now, my situations are like, oh, we're we're in like a little exciting situation.
So
Let's do something exciting.
We're getting the queen, or we're getting the two queens or the king.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're in something deep and then we're like, let's add something special to what we've, or let's commemorate something special. It's just like doing, that section of a relationship where you're overdoing things, where you're doing things that you wouldn't necessarily do if you were in something long term.
Well, because at some point you
and that's my sorry, and that's where I'm at that point in my life as well, because where I was is not where I am.
Well,
anyways,
samesies, right? But
gotcha.
So when I say some things are just worth the experience, to be able to look back on some of those experiences, you can't take some of those experiences away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Regardless of anything else that happens in your life, there are certain experiences that can be never taken away, and some of those that's there it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's where I posted something the other day, and I'm sure like later on I can find it and send it to you and you can make it all snazzy, but it was like some things just aren't linear and basic like that, right? It's just not, or binary, or yes, no, or off, on. Like certain things are just, they are what they are from an experience perspective, and you can't take away anything from that, regardless of how you look at it. That was a nice sunset on the beach. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was. Here's the picture of it. Yeah, I went to that place that time. All right. Those are all things that kind of, that shit never changes. And you know what? The world that we live in today then forces you into shit like, what is it, on this day, or Facebook memories and shit pops up, and you got to be like, yo, that is a nice pic. That was a nice sunset.
You know what Facebook memories does to me? No, okay, no, okay, no. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll talk about Facebook. Yeah. Anyways.
I turn this whole podcast left right now. Like, what Facebook memory does to me?
No, I don't know. Fuck that. All right. But it's funny like that. Brought to you by fucking Contour, motherfuckers. Yeah, all right. Yo, big up to nice sunsets.
Yo, nice sunsets.
Right? Big up to nice sunsets.
I went to a wedding one time in I went to a couple of destination weddings. I went to 2 of them in Jamaica. 2 great experiences, 2 fun times. Yeah, like you say, when you're at a destination wedding, you're just around the people for a little while, and it's just
you get to vibe with folks.
Yeah, you get to vibe with folks. That's right. And it's just a good time. And then the wedding happens, and then just because you vibes, I went to a couple of destination weddings, and you meet some people that you never met before, and because yes, you just get to vibe with folks, my brother.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I went where I've been to 2 in Jamaica, 1 in the Dominican, and I went to 1 in France. The 1 in France was that wedding was incredible.
I think I saw a couple pictures from that thing. That's with you and whatchamacallit went, right? The
twins.
Twins?
Yeah. Just opulence at its most high. It was nuts. So the couple that got married was an Asian couple from China that seen the twins seen Mark So iHeart Music is Mark and Puff, right? So this Mark and Kevin, all right? So Mark and Kevin make up iHeart Music. This couple saw
Yo, keep it simple, son.
So this couple saw iHeart Music, which is Mark and Kevin, DJ a wedding in Toronto. Right. So they came for their family's wedding in Toronto. All right. And the way that their energy is just impressed them so much that they said that they need to hire them for their wedding.
They're coming. You're coming. Right? You're coming with me.
Because they're there and they're like, I can't believe you made my grandfather dance.
Do the boogie oogie.
Right. And this is like a grandfather Asian man. You know what I mean? He's like, I can't believe you made my grandfather dance. You made my grandfather dance. You need to DJ my wedding. There's an Asian couple from China and hired them to DJ their wedding in France, en Provence. Right? So Mark told me, hey man, I'm going to France to go DJ a wedding next week. I said, I'm coming. I said, I'm coming. Right?
Yeah. And he goes, I'm carrying the crates.
He goes, okay. I go, okay. And he goes, okay. I go, okay. And I go, all right then. Yeah, I'm coming then.
Yeah.
So boom. They're in France before me. I get there and we're in the south of France. So it's not Paris. And get there and so you know the day that they have, like the day before the wedding, they have like a dinner for the groom's the wedding party, whatnot.
Yeah. So they had it for everybody, or no?
The day before dinner party was like a damn wedding. It was nuts. They had it at a winery. They rented out the place. That's when my life came crashing down. Yes.
Oh Lord.
Yes.
That's where you hurt your knee? I thought that was a.
No, that's not where I hurt my knee. Yeah, that's where my life came crashing down. Yes.
Oh, I'm just trying to make sure. I'm just trying to make sure I put it all together right.
Okay, so I gotta make sure. when I hurt my knees, when my life came crashing down, but then I built my life back up. And then it came crashing down that weekend.
No came crashing down. Look at you, man. Ain't nothing crashed down. Man.
I had to build it back up again.
Jeez.
So I'll tell you what happened. I went to that wedding. All right. No. I went to the dinner party for the pre-wedding dinner party. Boom. That's what we'll call it. The pre-wedding dinner party. Right. And
send off.
Yes. So, it's at a winery in Aix-de-Provence where we're situated in Marseille.
That's what some niggas in Paris.
No, it's not in Paris. It's south of France. And I'm so happy that my first time in France was in the south of France and not in Paris, because south of France is beautiful.
So where niggas in where now? En français?
Niggas in where? En français?
Where are they at now? All right, come on.
That's what happened to me, bro.
Yeah.
So I go to the dinner party and I come back to my hotel now, and I'm like, I come back and I'm like, I'm gonna start working on some stuff, like some like music stuff, right? Because I brought all my computer and just my equipment with me. So while I'm there, I'll do some work. All right.
The DJ. Yeah.
So I come back into the hotel room and I'm like, did you move my computer to Mark? Because me and him are staying in the same room. He goes, no, all I did was get ready and pack up my equipment and go. And I go, nah, man. I was doing some stuff on my computer just a while ago before we left, and I know I left my computer right here. So I started looking everywhere in the room. Lift up the bed, like look behind the curtains.
Oh yeah.
Long story short, they robbed me, bro. They came in and they robbed me.
Yeah, they sound like such a good story to start. They sound like such a positive, like endearing story to start. And then I was like, wait a second, I heard this story. I know about this, man.
Yeah, man. They robbed me in France, bro. They robbed me.
Those niggas in France robbed you.
Yeah, not even in Paris, France.
The rich niggas robbed you. They just want to get richer. That's some
Man,
bullshit.
yo, it was weird. It was weird, man. I'm like, how did they get into my room?
Mm.
And this is what they did. They took my laptop, they took my GoPro, they took my hard drive. All the music that I've created throughout my entire life was on all those things. People say, didn't you back up your music? I'm like, yeah, it was on my hard drive. They took my hard drive. Everything that I've created, like anything to say that I was even an artist of some sort, they took it. And they had the heart. They took my money, thousands of dollars. They took my money. They had the heart to leave my car key, my keys, left my keys and my passport. They took out my passport and my keys out of my bag and put it in my suitcase. And they're like, get the hell out of France. That's essentially what they're saying. I need you to get home.
You sure they weren't just saying it's all business? And that's what I mean. That's tough, but I don't know. Fuck.
And this was at the beginning of the whole trip. I had like 7 days left.
Oh.
And I had to put myself in a mind state like, do I sit here and like crumble, or do I like just say, hey,
giddy up,
let's go? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it had to be let's go, because I could not let that moment cripple the rest of what was to come. You know what I mean? And I had a good ass time the rest of the time.
Gotta make the most of it sometimes.
Did that look real? Did that look real when I said that?
Good time. Shit.
Had a good ass
time. And I'd also like to say, I've been holding this, so this is how I try to remember things. I do the finger cross.
Yeah.
And I like to go back to your question. If we could replay and ask me the best wedding that I've been to.
Best wedding you've been to?
That first wedding was for everything that I talked about being the best wedding. But most recently, it was a hashtag Damjan wedding, which was my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law, sister and my brother, Damjan wedding. That was the best wedding.
Mm-hmm.
That was recent. That was lit. It was like my younger sister-in-law, all grown up.
Was it a COVID wedding or was it pre-COVID?
No, this was pre-COVID.
Okay, sick.
So I just wanted to recognize Damjan wedding now that I think about it, because that was a nice wedding. So for many reasons, it was a good time. So big up to the Damjans. I've been sitting here with my finger crossed for like, I don't know, however long you were talking about getting
robbed
in Paris, man. That's France, South France. It's even worse.
Even worse.
Yeah.
I think they robbed Kim Kardashian the next week too. I think it was the same people.
Probably because you're in the same hotel.
That's right.
Big boy.
That's right.
Big boy.
You doing right.
Got London, France, you're all over Europe, man.
Yeah. And now I am vaccine passportless in Toronto.
Well, because you've already done all this shit, man. I gotta catch up, man. You gotta give me the connect, man. I gotta watch these guys drop the champagne in London and stuff like that. That's the Serge Ibaka, yo. See, there you go.
How hungry
you know, he's gonna get me. He's gonna grab me from the back one time. Remember he choked the guy in the basketball game? Serge choked the guy in a basketball game. I think he might grab me and choke me. You know what's what we were talking a little bit earlier about. I can't even believe this shit kind of stuff, but because of what's going on right between our little episodes and stuff.
Yeah.
Is I'm a little pumped for the little collab coming up and how it's turning out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's interesting because then it's one of those things that's been brewing for a little bit, and then to see how it brewed up a little bit, and then what we're gonna turn it into, I think seems like a pretty cool Twitch event. We don't do too much on it. We're not on the Twitch, but it seems like one of those things that could be a little bit of fun.
Well, we do need to set up an account just in case that's a platform that we decided we want to end up on.
Well, maybe we'll see how it goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe ride the wave, because big up to the Boom Boom chat room for inviting us to come visit the Boom Boom chat room.
I got it. Look at me go. Jeez. Look at me go. Yo, Boom Boom chat room. Big up.
So yeah, man, it was good to talk to the ladies and be invited on their platform to chat and have some fun. We've been talking about that a little while. It looks like we're going to be able to get some friends to join in to make it kind of at least a good night, I think, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We got Mr. DJ Ron C. Right. I hear this is all tentative, people. So I mean, God bless DJ Ron C for blessing us. He's going to start us off, as far as I understand it, that evening. And then we're going to blend into the Boom Boom chat room. And then following up the Boom Boom chat room, we're going to, as they call it on Twitch, we're going to raid good old DJ Che La Soul for a special edition of the Love Language. So, as I was talking about earlier, just being a little bit nice to interact with people and get some excitement going. Again, thank you to the Boom Boom chat room for allowing us their platform to have some fun and be out there. So big up to them, big up to DJ Ron C, big up to, of course, Mr. DJ Che La Soul. Try to make a little bit soul freshy, a little soul fresh event.
DJ Ron C.
Yeah, man.
Che La Soul.
Mm-hmm.
Love language.
Right. So big up to
Easy like Sunday morning.
Jeez.
Big up.
Yeah, man. Big up to that. So that'll be fun. Coming soon.
Boom, boom, boom. Let's go chat in my room. Oh, boom, boom, boom. Let's go chat in my room. You know what?
They're gonna get mad at us for that. They're gonna get mad. They're gonna get mad at us for that.
You know what? Man's got to get his microphone and start recording some stuff.
Oh, you?
Oh, man is recording right now. Still, that's right? True. It's true. It's true.
You're talking to the wall again? The other wall? The fourth wall? Gotta stop that, man. You gotta focus up. No, see, it's the whiteboard. It's the whiteboard. That's the whiteboard. It's time for a commercial break. Yeah. Grab another beer. Yeah, you're gonna make a good one. You got this is like the expensive long commercial that you might have to do. We need like a
all right.
Like a third. We need a 30-second.
30 second?
30. You think you can do that?
All right. I think I can do a 30-second commercial.
Maybe do a 30 and do a 15-second. I'm gonna pour my beer. See how it goes right here.
Okay. Have you ever had a long day and thought to yourself, when will this day be over? Well, that's happened to about 15,000 Canadians located in the Markham area. And when I say long day, what I actually mean is long hair. And if you want to eliminate your long hair, the perfect place to come to is Couture Cuts and Culture Barbershop, located at Markham on 411 Manhattan Drive near McCowan and 16th Avenue. We specialize in cutting your hair, designing your hair, shaving your beard, talking to you about your problems, as well as encouraging you to do the things that you never thought that you would ever do. Yeah, like her. Go talk to her. Do it. Do it. You can do it. Couture Life, where cuts meet culture.
Bum, 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 bum. I need the horn. We need some to be able to. I need a little machine in front of me that kind of lick off a
I don't
shot
know
every
what
now
bread
and
and
then.
butter got me on, boy, but thank you.
A lot of bread, a lot of butter.
How do you do it? You go like this?
What's that?
No,
I can see that good right now.
you can see it good, right?
Bread and butter, and yeah, don't move.
Bread and butter.
But
Don't overthink it.
and if you do overthink it, just drink it, and then you won't overthink it.
Vinton and bottled by Bread and Butter, Napa, California. Classic California Cabernet Sauvignon with hints of rich vanilla, toasted oak, and mocha. Mocha.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect when enjoyed with good food and company. I got company. Company.
You got food?
So the French part I will leave because I didn't do good on the French part last week.
Mm. Was it last? What? Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't have the runs. I didn't have the runs this week, so I didn't
Not yet.
I didn't catch the runs this week.
Well, I thought you only had the runs in the morning. Jeez, that was a good video. I can't lie, that was a good video, man. I still giggle. I think I watched that. However, man, like if it's like 200 views, like 137 or
So, yo, how do you get the runs? How do you get the runs every day? Yeah, that was good. That was good.
That was a good transition. That was a good transition. That was good. I don't even know how it got to that.
Yo, trust me, I laughed at I laugh at it every time I see it. It's funny shit.
Man. It's funny. I gotta go back and watch some stuff. I don't appreciate some of the stuff that I think I messaged you the other day. I was like, yo, we gotta go back.
No, yeah, we have to go back. Yeah.
Gotta go back. But then it's again to the whole like, what the hell are we doing? When we were talking about that, we always talk about. That's what I always say. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing, man? Like, have we figured this out yet? I don't like. We haven't figured this out yet. Fun, exciting. Haven't figured it out yet. And it's also even going back and looking at some of the conversations that we had after we're kind of going through it and looking at what's there. It's like, oh right, shit, we talked about that. Let me go back and look at that again.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No, we have to go back because there's lots of good stuff that has not been touched.
Yeah.
But you know what? Is Cam Newton good or is he bad?
I mean, I don't think he's good.
You don't think he's good? No?
I don't think he's good. I think he's been good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we can call him good right now, personally.
So I don't know if I'm the person to have a football conversation with you, but I can't imagine that he was Superman at one time. And then was it 3 years removed or 4 years removed from that? He's no longer Superman.
That's how that world works, man. Like for real, for real.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, like some things are anomalies, right? Like Tom Brady and the freaking fucking Patriots. I'm a Bills fan, so you know how much this hurts me, but that's an anomaly. I mean, like, where in sports do you see a team be like dominant for like 20 years? Like, just always there, always just straight, no, nothing. Um, Everything else in that sport is like, all right, for a couple of years of this, because I mean, just the shelf life in general is short too, right? So even if you're in the league for 4 or 5 years, like, all right, you got 2 good years right quick, and then you get popped one time, life changes, and then you're never the same, right? Or an injury or whatever. It's just that sport's very, it's quick to change usually, I think. There's not a lot of longevity in football. And then the people that do have longevity, I mean, technically he's got longevity, but not consistent, great longevity for a lot of people.
So
he's been around for a while. He's had his good, he's had his rough times, right?
Newton.
Yeah.
So when he was doing good, was he really good? Or is that an anomaly?
I mean, was he really good? I mean, he got the Super Bowl. That's good. He was
Is that
MVP.
accidental? Can you get to that Super Bowl accidentally?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. I don't. You can get to the Super Bowl accidentally. I mean, they had a good team. I think back in those days, that time when they made it on Carolina, right? Yeah. I don't know. I don't look at him as like a great. I don't know. I don't look at him as like superstar. I don't. I mean, he was a superstar. I think he's more like he's got a good story. I guess, kind of, sort of. He
Yeah,
was
you
good
want
in
to you want to
college.
hear me out again? You want to hear me now? You want to hear me?
Shit. Hang on.
You want to
Where's
hear
my?
you want to hear where I go with this now?
Let me get my abacus.
Get your abacus.
Yo, abacus. Come on,
Abacus. Abacus.
abacus.
Abacus.
Yeah,
Abacus. Abacus.
yeah, yeah.
Abacus.
Oh, $6.99, all you can eat. Abacus. All right, what do we got? Shit.
There was a time where he was the man. I don't watch football, but all I know is Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Not that long. See, that's why. Okay, but go on.
And he was Under Armour.
Yeah.
And he was killing it. He was killing it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Steph Curry was killing it.
Yeah.
Under Armour was killing the industry.
Oh, you sure? Where is he going with this shit?
He went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And there's no reason he should have lost that Super Bowl going into the Super Bowl.
Why not?
Because he was amazing. He was killing it. Again, you are a football fan, right? So you know football the way you know it. I am an outsider, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
Everything that I'm seeing from football, I'm seeing it from a non-biased view. All right. So the way that I'm absorbing it is by this only makes sense because this is the way that it seems to be working. Like the numbers. You understand what I'm saying? Like Cam Newton's, the way that he was dominating.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning was not, like Peyton Manning's team was not doing what Cam Newton's team was doing at the time. Right? Cam Newton was killing it. So I just put it like this. I remember Super Bowl's coming around, and I'm talking about Super Bowl's coming around, and I'm talking about the NFL champ and the NBA championship, right? And I said it like this. I said, somebody asked me just about NBA and the championship, and I said, if Cam Newton loses this Super Bowl, because he's not supposed to lose, because he's killing it. But again, you know football more than me. I'm just telling you from what I'm seeing and what I'm understanding. As if Cam Newton loses the Super Bowl, Steph Curry is not winning the championship this year. Because Manning was Nike.
See, man.
Boom.
I don't. Nah, man. You think?
Cam Newton lost the Super Bowl. In my mind, I'm like, I'm like, how the hell is he? How the hell did he lose the Super Bowl? Peyton Manning like won the Super Bowl doing, huh?
That's why I don't like people like you, man.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But guess what happened? Steph Curry lost the championship. 73 win Golden State.
Yeah, but that's easy. You didn't know that was gonna happen?
No, it was not supposed to happen.
Of course it was.
Why? Because LeBron said
it don't mean a thing without
Draymond
because it don't mean a thing without the ring.
Draymond called me a bitch.
You know whose slogan was "Don't mean
you
a thing
need to
without
kick
the
him
ring?
out of the next game."
Look, man, I don't remember.
You don't remember that?
You remember it don't mean a thing without the ring? That was from the 72
do you
and
remember,
10.
Do you remember LeBron crying?
That was from this. That was this. I remember LeBron crying a couple of times. So which time are you talking about? The LeBron
I'm talking
was
about when LeBron was down 3-1. LeBron was down 3-1.
Yeah.
LeBron was down 3-1. And they said to LeBron in the interview, how do you feel being down 3-1 to Golden State? And he says, I have no concern in the world.
Yeah. You know why he had no concern?
Because he knows that he knows that it's set for him to win.
No.
You think no?
Because the Chicago Bulls are the best team of all time. That's 72 and 10 with the championship as well. And ain't no 73 and whatever. Don't mean a thing without the ring, yo. So they were losing regardless because Scottie Pippen was on that Bulls team. Because Scottie Pippen was on that Bulls team. And yeah, screw y'all.
Yeah.
So for the people, I don't think I've ever talked about my dog on the break room before.
Yeah.
Have I? I don't know. But my dog right now, when it's time for him to go to the washroom, he bangs on the blinds over there. And right now he's banging on the blinds. So we're gonna do one more commercial break because he's looking at me like gangster, right? He's like, yo, man, I hit the blinds. It's time for me to go outside.
All right. Rattles a little bit. All right. Let's see what we can do here. What can we do here? So I don't know what it is that this man is talking about, because when it comes to the Golden State Warriors, I know you can hear me. There's no reason that they should have won that game. There's no reason they should have won. There's no Oh, big shout out to Bread and Butter. They got me doing that thing. You know that thing? You know that thing where you can't understand what I'm saying? Anyways, there's no reason why Cleveland Cavaliers should have beat the Golden State Warriors when they weren't even in their caliber. And everybody says because LeBron and he's the best. No. It's because Nike needed LeBron
with
to
great
win.
power. With great power comes great responsibility.
And I give him that. Because and I say that they bestow the power on him because they know that he is the one that can perform. Right? So for instance, when he blocked Victor Oladipo with the goaltend, and they didn't call it, or he would have been out first round. They didn't call it. But guess what? They don't make calls like that for that man. And they do their job. And with his greatness, I'm not gonna say he's not great, he's great. With his greatness, he gets the possession and he comes down and he hits a 3-pointer to then win the game. You know what I'm saying? So they do their job, they keep him in the game, and he does his job, wins the game. With great power comes great responsibility. So he was responsible. They did their job, and he was responsible for doing his job.
See, it's all about perspective, though, because I know that Golden State lost because they couldn't be better and go down in history with the 73, because that's 73, 73 and
73
9
9.
means nothing without that ring. And they didn't get the ring because 72 and 10, that was the motto. I ain't shit no matter. All that matters is the ring. 72 and 10 ain't mean nothing without the ring. So that just was never,
I,
it wasn't in, it
I'll
wasn't in
tell
the
you what it was.
cards. It wasn't
I'll
in the
tell you what it
cards.
was. Nike
So,
said, "Yo, Under Armour is killing us right now,
oh,
and you guys need to fix that. We've
no,
invested
you
so
can't
much
say
into
that.
your
You
companies."
can't say that. They can't say that they were killing Nike.
Under
You
Armour
can't
had
say
all the market share. Under Armour had the majority of the market share.
for like a quarter.
A quart? What are you talking about?
Oh,
Everywhere you looked, it was Under Armour on kids' feet. Everywhere you looked.
not everywhere.
I'm not even asking you. We talking
No,
about every basketball camp, every basketball team, every basketball. It was all Under Armour. Everything was Under
no,
Armour.
I know, but
What do you mean you know? But there's no you know. But it's like yeah, you know. Under
because no, it's
Under Armour was
different.
killing it. There was no
It's
different.
different.
What are you talking
It's
about?
different. It's like, um,
How's
it's
there even a
like,
conversation? Under Armour was owning the majority of the market share
but for how long?
until they put Kevin Durant
But
on. Until they put
how long?
Kevin Durant on Steph Curry's team to change that.
Like how long? Oh, so they come on, see, man.
Where's that? Pick up that book. Pick up that book again. Pick up that book. Pick up the book again and read the title again.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pick up the book and make you read the title. Can you
It
read the
says
title?
the corporation, the pathological pursuit of profit and power. Don't talk. Don't talk.
No.
No,
no, look at you. No.
He said no. He said no. He said no. How you say no?
Not like that. But not like that.
What do you like? How then? Like how?
Huh?
Understand? It's all about the money.
Yeah, okay.
It's all everything is all about the money.
No.
Steph Curry was the best. Steph Curry was the thing. And because Steph Curry was the thing, Steph Curry was the face of the league. And because he was the face of the league, Under Armour was the shit.
I mean,
and at the same time, Cam Newton was the shit, and he was an Under Armour athlete as well.
I mean,
it sounds crazy, right? Or it sounds crazy when you start to think about it in those terms, right?
It sounds crazy. It's just, like there's levels to it. So, I mean, you could be right that at the time Under Armour, was like wicked, but in the grand, like it was a drop in the bucket to Nike.
All right. Well,
for
so when I
example.
say it was a drop in, you say it was a drop in the bucket, like I was never going to put on a pair of Under Armour shoes, me personally.
Right.
But
that's what I mean, though.
But what I do know is that everything around me, like for instance, I'm going to say my clients, all the basketball teams, they were all Under Armour.
No,
right?
They had a pair. See, they had a pair of Under Armour.
No. They were sponsored by Under Armour. Under Armour was sponsoring everybody. But listen to me. But even more than that, Under Armour on record was the majority owner of the market share of sports apparel at that time, until they put Kevin Durant onto Golden State. And Kevin Durant on Golden State, in my calculations, was to hedge the bet of no matter who wins now, Nike wins.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's what's up?
Yeah, so they can get back their market share. So, okay, so for instance, there's no Kevin Durant on Golden State and Golden State wins again. You think it's a Nike shoe? Nike's the big deal? Under Armour's the big deal again.
You see how So the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
So at the Olympics, when the USA won the gold, right? What are their suits? Their suits were Nike suits, right? So they had Nike.
I didn't pay attention.
So I really hope this is right, because sometimes I catch a headline, right? But from my understanding, so I'll give it a little preface. So Dame Lillard is Adidas, right? I think, right?
Yeah, I
But
think so.
when it was time to go on the podium, you know what Dame Lillard was wearing?
What?
He was wearing Nike. So I mean, I can appreciate Under Armour's little spark, but again, when I say it's a drop in the bucket, it's a drop in the bucket. It's like when we were talking about like,
Yeah, but
Jay-Z.
What did Jordan do?
When back in the day,
Yeah.
he covered whatever it was. He covered it with Nike.
No, he covered it with the flag.
But it would be covered up whatever because it wasn't Nike, right?
Right.
Right. That's the difference. Yes. Yes, exactly. You're right. That's the difference. But anyways, you got to hit the shot anyway. So I don't care who you're sponsored by. You got to hit the goddamn shot.
You didn't watch the game that way I watched that game. It was not that serious. It was nasty and it was blatant. It was retarded.
No. No.
It was like it was a clean comeback from 3-1, right? It was.
What do you mean by clean?
Like it was just like, oh yeah, these guys are amazing. Cleveland is amazing. They're so awesome that they could beat the 73 win Golden State Warriors. That's how good they were, right? They could barely beat the Raptors that year.
It doesn't work like that. It doesn't matter who they could have played in different matchups and stuff like that.
It works.
Okay.
I know exactly how it works.
So
And I knew that Cleveland didn't hold a candle to Golden State that year.
Sometimes the best player wins.
No. Yeah. Sometimes the power and pursuit is what wins.
Power and pursuit of what?
Corporation.
You're a corporation.
You're a corporation.
You're a walking, talking corporation.
You're a walking, talking power and pursuit.
It's funny.
What?
How's your bottle of wine going?
It's like the thicker the wine, the longer it takes to drink it.
Is something like that? Is that what it is?
Well, for me right now.
Was it the berry or the?
If this was a rosé, this bitch would have been done.
This is true.
It's like I'm eating dinner right now.
that I can appreciate. Dinner, right? We gotta do a wine tour. And what do you say? Vlog it. Do a little bit of live vlog, a little bit of post vlog, a little bit of post production.
I'm gonna have to set my schedule. I have to lock down the shop for a day or something.
Well, all right, I guess you got a tight schedule still. Well, when we find it, I'm flexible. Evening, morning.
I don't think I'm free. The way my schedule looks, I don't think I'm free until October. So it might be an ice wine tour.
Gone till November?
Gone to November. I'm say gone to November.
I'm trying to figure out it's almost we're mid-August, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I forget. I'm not allowed to say what day. Not allowed to say what day we're at. But
what school look like for you right now?
School.
Yeah, going back to school.
What do you mean? Right? So school. I hear you, Kingston. Big up. For me personally.
No, not for you, but for the youth them.
For the youth?
Yeah, like what's that all look like?
I mean, he's going back to school. That's all. it's very different maybe than I don't know. Maybe for me it's the question, but I don't know. It's time for school coming up.
Is he home?
Oh,
Oh,
he stays out there
okay.
majority of the time
Okay.
because he's going into what, third year now. So
Third
he's got
year,
a little plate.
he's gonna be a doctor?
Something seems like it. I mean, you know, we'll see what happens, right? We'll stay with it. Shoot for the
Mm.
shoot for the gosh darn stars, right?
What's he studying? Do you know?
I mean, yeah, I mean, he started with kinesiology, uh, with, and then he wanted to go into being a doctor. And I know he's thinking about some things, still wanting to be a doctor, but just adjusting his focus a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, so it's you gotta find what's passionate for you, especially when you have. I mean, boys got goals, right?
I think
So
you're
to see it,
lucky when you find what you're passionate about. You're
but
lucky.
then you find you're not sure. Sometimes you think you're passionate about something until you're not passionate about it anymore, too, right? But just like I'm saying, he started on one track,
Mm-hmm.
and he's adjusted his track a little bit. Um, but he's been all the way through. He's been passionate about it, right? So it's not that he necessarily lost focus or changed or didn't have passion. It was just the passion changed. You never know when
Mm-hmm.
that's going to happen, I guess, in life, right? So I don't know. It stays interesting from that perspective, and
Who are they
you know,
fighting?
I don't know, man. There might be something going on outside, I guess.
Duppy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's hilarious right now, but whatever. Security. Um, yeah. So school. I don't know. Back to school is not as monumental as it used to be honest with you. I guess as well, right? It used to be very monumental. Let's take some photos. Let's do this. First day of this, first day of that.
Yeah.
It's real. It's real. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it isn't as monumental as it used to be. It's just like, oh shoot, it's August. School's coming up.
Is your daughter with you?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. So,
You said she works from home, right?
mm,
Okay.
she works.
Okay. So you guys
She
write this
works
house. You guys write this
hard.
house off in taxes. It's a whole entire work area.
It's a work area,
It's a
man.
whole
It's a good.
office.
Yeah, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I should come out there, come write off piece of tax, yes.
Right over there, man. You can take a little piece right there. You take a little piece. So it go.
Take a piece by the wine bar.
Mm,
Learn how to
look at
do
that.
my, what do you call this? Is there a name for this?
I don't know, man, but look to me like you're swirling that shit, bro. Right?
Is it called aerating?
No,
Ruminating?
that's called spinning that shit, bro.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, that smells different than it did before. You're hilarious, bro.
Me.
Mm. I was trying to think. How long did you coach?
How long did I coach? I coached soccer for a season. I coached
No.
basketball for a season.
Mm. You
So,
like that?
I mean, my thing is I like teaching.
Mm.
I don't even know if I like teaching. I think I like seeing people learn stuff. I think I like, okay. I don't know if I like teaching. I think I like seeing people do stuff that they never used to be able to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Expand.
yeah, I like being able to help people do things that they never used to be able to do. So for instance, with the kids, I don't know if yeah, so I guess you call that coaching, right? But yeah, I used to love to be involved with the kids and having them, just do things,
Mm.
try
No,
things.
yeah. Like
But
just to be a
that's
little
just
bit
with me
better.
with everything. That's just me with people. You know what I mean? Like that is a quality of me that people might even find annoying. Saying for instance, somebody asked me a question.
Mm.
Instead of me answering the question,
Mm.
I'm like, all right, so what if what did I'm trying to help them work it through to get to the answer themselves.
Right.
Because I'm thinking it's better that way.
Right.
You're gonna figure out how to get the answer.
Yeah.
But they might be annoyed, like, yo, why don't you just just give me the answer, bro.
Self-exploration, yeah.
So it's just the way that I am. You know what I mean? I'm more about just trying to let's figure out this puzzle together.
Mm.
Whether the puzzle is how to kick with your left foot, whether the puzzle is how to get the proper form with your jump shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whether the puzzle is how to figure out this answer to the question you just asked me.
Right.
I know you know the answer. You just never thought about it.
Right.
Right.
Or just to see,
That's just who I
just to
am.
just to see it click sometimes, like you say, right? Like I remember, as you mentioned, that is like one of my best coaching moments ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was kind of twofold. So it started when you look back, it started at practice one day, right? That's how it's supposed to work, apparently, as I hear it, right? Uh, and it was an inbound play.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like practice is already like almost done, and now it's like, all right, let's run some inbounds play. And then we're running it, and one of the kids is like, he just doesn't run it. He was like the third option. And I was like, yo, you're not running the play, bro. And he's like, yeah, but this guy went and this guy went. So, I'm the third. So I just had to get the ball. And I was like, no, this is what you got to do. Right. And I remember like, stopping practice. And I was like, you know, I'll never forget it actually. Jerry Rice, he runs like 20, 40-yard flies to be able to get like one 15-yard button hook, right? But you got to run that fly every freaking time so
Mm-hmm.
that when it's time for you just to get that 15-yard hook,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's why you got to, because you're running it, but you're going to cut that off one time. And that one time you cut it off, you're getting that ball.
Because everybody's expecting
So
you to keep on running the fly.
I'm like, brother, just run the play. And you could see, because everybody's wired was like, oh, what the hell's coach stopping and talking and like, shut up, coach, man. Like, can we just like run the play?
You turn into
And
Carlsa.
and then that weekend we were in a tournament, and late in the fourth quarter we were like playing, and we were running that play, and I just sometimes you just see some stuff, and you go, oh, my story's boring to this guy.
No, no, no,
You
no, no,
just
no,
see
no, no,
some,
no, no.
you see some stuff, and we ran it, and I was like, okay, cool, I saw something. And then Fitz, there was 2 seconds left on the clock, right? We called a timeout.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we're down one or if it was a tied game, but regardless, 2 seconds left on the clock. And I was the assistant coach officially. And I said to the coach, I was like, run it again.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I was like, run it again. And I go, watch. This is what's going to happen. And we ran the play, 2 seconds. The same kid that I was talking to in practice,
Yeah.
he was actually, so in practice, he was the third option. In this, he was the fourth option because I told coach, They jumped the third option a couple of last times. So run it again. And I was like, you're going to get the ball at the top of the key. You're going to hit the jump shot, man. In the timeout. Ran the play. They jumped the third option. He was the fourth option, top of the key. Grab it. I remember it only bounced one time, not like Kawhi. Bounced one time, boom, into the basket. And that was my best coaching moment ever. Right. And I mean, it just speaks to again, being consistent, shit like that. But yeah, just some of the things that you remember from coaching and trying to just seeing kids have an aha moment, because me and him, actually, I see that kid pretty often. And I'm like, yo, that's you remember that, man? He's like, yeah, I remember that kid. I was like, good. All right, cool.
See, I never had an aha moment like that in regards to my coaching, because when I was coaching when the boy was young, right? So to me, my most impactful moment of coaching was because again, I was just coaching like clinic, right? In regards to basketball, this particular moment. And what impacted me the most was this woman brought her son to the clinic, right? And she just dropped him off, and this kid was essentially uncoachable. All the coaches would just avoid him because he's just too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I looked at him and I knew something was different with him. You know what I mean? And I was able to recognize that because my second son is autistic, right? And he has certain behavioral patterns. And because I knew that, I looked at this kid and I'm like, there's something about him that I know needs more attention than than other coaches are willing to give. Because if you don't know, I'm just gonna look at him as like a troublemaker. You know what I'm saying? So I paid that extra attention to him and dealt with him with more concern and patience than the other coaches would. Right. And for instance, that particular day turned out to be well and fine. You know what I'm saying? And then after everything was done, I brought the mom over. I said, hey, mom, I know something is different with your son. Like I know he's dealing with some stuff. I know he's right.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna ask you to do is whenever you bring him somewhere, you go and talk to the people that are dealing with him and tell them that he is some sort of like you know what I mean? Like he's special. Tell him that there's something he needs more attention. And tell them why. Because if you just take your son and drop him off
and don't let him know
and don't let people know, they're not going to have patience with him. Especially if they don't know, especially if they don't have an experience.
Yeah.
They're going to look at this kid. And that's what happens in the school system too, is that a lot of people don't let people know that a lot of people don't let teachers know or principals know or the system know that their children are dealing with stuff.
Yeah.
And
or not even that they're dealing with stuff, is that you have to deal with them a certain way for a reason, for a very valid reason, right?
Right. Like certain kids have issues, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't let these teachers know that your kids have issues, they're going to deal with your kid in a way that you're not going to like. They're going to deal with your kid in a way that's not going to be conducive for them to become successful moving on forward.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's because you didn't let them know. And it's because they don't know. They don't have the patience. They don't know that they're supposed to apply special patience.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you let them know and they know that they don't have the patience, they can say, hey, I can't deal with this. Maybe you might need to ask the principal to put him in a different school. I mean, different class with someone who does have the patience. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of kids get dealt with a way that they don't need to be because their parents don't do the diligence that they need to do to make sure that they get the help or get the assistance or get the attention that they need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I
for instance,
mean,
so when I say my best coaching moment was seeing this because of my experience with my own child and being able to talk
yes.
to the mom and say, Mom, make sure when you bring him somewhere, you talk to the people that you talk to the people, because
Yeah.
if you don't, it's going to be more detrimental to your son than it needs to be.
That's how you communicate, right? I guess that's how
Communication.
communication is the key.
Communication is the
Communication
key.
is the key.
Communication.
Shit, son.
You can fly.
Oh, jeez. No, but for real though, it's important. Like awareness is the other piece too, right? If you're aware, the more awareness that you have, the more you're equipped to deal with certain situations. If you know what's happening, you know what's going on, and you have, you know, the more variables you have, the more data, right, that you have available to you, the better that you're going to be able to understand what's actually truly happening, right? So it's yeah, there's levels. There's
You,
definitely levels to it.
you know, it's funny because like for instance, there's some parents who are not willing to admit that their children have issues.
Yeah,
All right. So for instance,
yeah,
for me, I haven't seen my son in 6 years. Right. And that's me saying to mom, hey, he has an issue. And mom doesn't want to believe it. Right.
mm,
So that causes friction between me and her.
mm-hmm,
Right. So then that causes the issue where I'm now in a situation where I don't see my son for 6 years because she doesn't want to believe that there's an issue.
right,
Even when we go and get diagnosed and the doctor says, hey, he's on the spectrum. He's like, what? She's like, what do you know? You know
mm,
what I'm saying? But I say that to say this is that, for instance, I'm cutting a kid's hair today,
mm,
all right? And he's acting a certain way. And his father is like,
dismissive.
the doctors are saying that he has this and that, as that. But
Oh,
what do the
okay.
doctors know? But
Mm,
I'm
dismissive. Yeah, yeah,
I dismissive, and it just reminded me of the way that mom was with my son.
yeah.
You don't
Mm,
want you sometimes you don't want to believe that your son has an issue. You don't want to believe that your child has something that they're dealing with because it's
yeah,
your child. You know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But at this particular moment, I didn't think it was my position to say, hey, maybe your son is
This is
dealing with
what's up.
something.
Yeah, this
Because
is
I
what's
mean,
up.
yeah, because
Mm,
now I'm not only dealing with this particular child in a manner that I know that he's being kind of being away, but I'm
right.
seeing him through experience.
Mm,
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like I'm seeing him through
mm,
experience and knowing that I know that this is a certain way that's my child behaved. He's showing
right.
some traits of the way that my child behaved. You know what I'm saying? This is a first time father. So, you know what I'm saying? I have 3 children now.
Mm,
I know the way that my first one was.
mm,
I know I know how my second one was. So I know that he was different from my first one. And I
mm,
was able to identify that something's different here.
mm,
And then I have my third child. Then I'll say, okay, yeah, something was different with the second one.
mm.
To to kind of confirm that you know what I'm saying. But this first time father doesn't have any other experience to know that something is different. Something is,
Right.
and yes, he might be thinking, um, children develop at different levels and different rates and at different times. True, but he is still portraying some traits that couldn't identify something.
Yeah, there's different ways because some people don't see different ways to just look at things and be, understanding of differences, and that, certain people need different focuses as well, right? Because it completely turns into how one person is supported, right? Because in our society, there's a way to support, like, I don't know, Pareto, 80% of the folk, right? There's
Yeah.
very, very, very easily, there's a way to support at a snap of a finger 80% of the people. And then from the other 20, that's all chopped up into, you have to be very specific with each different group. So it's not just like it's 80 and then it's 20, it's 80 and then it's 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, but it's that kind of group of 20, right? So it becomes even more difficult to be able to, when I say difficult, it's because everybody only sees the 80%, to be like, this 2%, this 6% over here needs this focus because everybody's going, but everything's working fine over here, right? Um, and I think that's where everybody needs to kind of understand that, yeah, that it is going to take a little bit of work. It is going to take a little bit of focus because this group needs to feel seen, heard, understood, or whatever it is. And it's because there are people that can only see, the 80% is fine, that don't want to put the effort into all
the
right,
20%.
right.
The
And
subsections
then,
of the 20%.
yeah. And I think that's where maybe it makes the 20% struggle a little bit more. Right. So yeah, man, I like I said, there's certain things, even based on what you're saying, that I don't can't experience, I don't feel it the same way clearly, right? But there are pieces of me that says, yeah, all right, this is why, or I can see why it could be that way, and just in the first place, on the surface, on a level, right? Uh, and that's kind of shitty sometimes. So, it's a, and then it, it dominoes into more, all right? So because of a lack of awareness, then people don't want to be open to certain situations and say, all right, it could be this. Okay, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with being this little 3% over here. You know what I mean?
And it might go back to the conversation that we started off with earlier with in regards to your self-awareness. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, I said like I'm okay with being open and transparent to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with being the weirdo. I'm okay with that because I'm fine with that. Right. So so for instance, me understanding that I may have a child with an issue, I'm okay with that. But someone else may not be okay with knowing or letting people know that they have a child with an issue because of how they feel about that.
Yeah, I don't think that makes you, like, to me, you saying that makes you weird. To me, honestly, that doesn't make you weird. I think it makes you open a little bit, right? A little bit. To me, it's more of a difference of not weird, or whatever the hell the opposite of weird is.
No, so
Not
I'm
weird.
not saying that makes me weird. What I'm saying is because I am so willing to be analyzed and be I'm because I'm so open and okay with who I am. Whatever I'm dealing with, I'm fine with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
some people have a superficial way of being that, for instance, if they have a child with an issue, it doesn't fit the criteria of who they are as a person. So then they want to ignore the fact, they want to pretend like maybe their child has an issue
Yeah.
because it doesn't fit their persona. My child can't have an issue. You know what I'm saying? Not my child.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
You know what
I
I'm
mean, but
saying?
sometimes, there's parts of it that are also, yeah, like there's parts of it that are, like I said, societal in general, right? And then there's the individual situations, and like the fact that you have a view, and then your partner or the mother of your child also has a certain view as well, too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe in certain worlds that doesn't matter, but in this world it does matter, right? And that's what then causes the clash too. Um, so it's interesting, like even as you speak it out, just to kind of hear the perspective and understand kind of
The rocky
some of the
roads.
things, yeah, rocky roads, right? And yeah, so the rocky roads, they're there, and then you know there are ways to cope with it. There are ways that you feel that you need to deal with it, right? And it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. At some point, like you say, it matters that this is what you feel that you're doing or uh, experiencing. So you're able to be authentic, about the situation. And I think it's helpful. I think it's helpful. And it's helpful. Again, I try not to worry about other people, but it's also helpful for me to be able to hear about other people's journey, and it not about it being so specific about kind of what you go through, right?
Mm-hmm.
uh you know Again, I think I posted something the other day, and it was like, it's not about your mistakes or kind of how you done fucked up or how a situation messed you up. It's how you kind of handle your mistake, you handle a fucked up situation, right? And I think that's where it becomes even more important about, coming out on the other end and how you're able to figure that out uh, from that perspective more than anything, right? Because as we say, everybody goes through a lot of fucking shit, right? But we are still,
Still
here comes the
here.
next thing. We're still here. Here comes the next thing,
We're still here. Mm-hmm.
right? Here comes the next thing. And how do you handle the next thing? Because it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop, right? And that's why you have to become better through every situation and learn from it and talk about it and understand it, because all that shit's done, it's gone, right? And here comes the next day, the next situation, the next interaction, the next fucking, oh fuck, shit, what the next minute, all right? When that
Mm-hmm.
when that shit, when here it comes, there's another one and another one. It doesn't stop.
It doesn't
We're
stop.
moving, all right?
It
We're
doesn't
getting
stop.
through it.
Mm-hmm.
We're moving. So just keep going.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't stop. It doesn't. It does not stop, because you can win the championship, but guess what?
Next year, season.
Forget next year. There's something else in another part of your life that you got to deal with when you're on your way home from the championship.
Yeah, real life. In real life, right?
There's something. There's always something. It doesn't stop.
And that could be good or bad. It doesn't have to be bad, right? Whatever it is, it's just the next experience that you have to go through, right? And that's, I don't know, that's what I try. Like I am not perfect, but what I try is, let me just, all right, I went through that. Now I'm going through this. All right, you can't go back. You can learn, but you can't go back. So shit, this is today. How's today going? How's today going? Um, yeah. And if you just, hopefully today goes good, and it's not even about tomorrow, because you can't worry about maybe tomorrow's gonna go good, man. Like some talk shit. Some people don't. Some people don't get tomorrow. You think you'll get tomorrow, right? You
Mm,
think you Everybody believes in tomorrow. You think you might get tomorrow, brother. Uh, and that can be applied to so many things, right? Like that can be applied to so many things. You think you get fucking tomorrow. You are not promised tomorrow. Uh, You are not promised tomorrow, so you got you giddy up, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
We're gonna call it on that one, bro.
right.
We're gonna call it on that one.
That's good. My headphones just they just beat that. I said they're about to go out too, right? So that's good.
Mhm.
That's good,
Yes, sir.
right?
Peace in the break room. Episode 6 comes to a close.
Yeah.
And if you're smart, you will understand that you are not promised tomorrow.
Remember that, yo. Believe that.
One
Believe
time,
that. Yeah. Word to
Sean,
Big Bird.
much appreciate you, my brother. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, man.
If we coordinate again, that'll be like a miracle. Today was awesome.
Giddy up.
Couture Red, Couture Canada Red.
weHARE.
Yeah.
But
All right, my
all right,
brother.
my brother.
Peace
Love you,
out.
man.
Yes,
Yeah.
love you too.